Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Fluent English Daily. In today's lesson, you will learn how to extend your IELTS speaking answers without speaking for too long or going off topic. Many candidates have one of two problems. Some give answers that are too short and contain almost no explanation. Others try to speak for longer, but their answers become repetitive, unclear, and difficult to follow. For Band 7 and above, your answer should be developed, but it should also remain focused. We will use a simple 4-step structure: answer, reason, example, and link back. This method will help you give clearer, more fluent, and better organized answers in every part of the IELTS speaking test. Let's begin. Both extremely short answers and unnecessarily long answers can create problems. A short answer may contain only one sentence. For example, "Yes, I like traveling." This answers the question, but it doesn't show much vocabulary, grammar, or ability to develop an idea. On the other hand, a very long answer may lose its main point. The speaker may include too many unrelated details, repeat the same idea, or move away from the original question. For Band 7 and above, aim for a focused mini explanation. Start with a direct answer. Then give one clear reason, add a specific example, and finish with a short concluding idea. Your answer should feel complete, but not endless. Remember, you are not giving a long speech. You are showing that you can express and develop an idea clearly. The formula we will use is called AREL. The letter A means answer directly. The letter R means give a reason. The letter E means add an example. And the letter L means link back to the question or main point. Let's look at this question. Do you enjoy studying alone? A developed answer could be, yes, I do, mainly because I can focus better. For example, when I prepare for exams, studying alone helps me avoid distractions. So overall, it suits my learning style. The first sentence answers the question directly. The second part explains the reason. The example makes the answer specific and believable. Finally, the last sentence connects the answer back to the speaker's personal preference. This structure is simple, but it can make your answer sound organized, fluent, and complete. The first step is to answer the question clearly. Do not begin with a long introduction. For example, you can say, "Yes, definitely." Not really, to be honest. It depends on the situation. Or, "I would say yes, but only to some extent." These openings immediately show your position. Avoid beginning with something like, "This is a very interesting question, and there are many different opinions about it." This type of introduction may sound memorized, and it delays your real answer. IELTS speaking is a conversation, not an academic presentation. The examiner should understand your main position as quickly as possible. Once you have answered directly, you can explain your thinking. A clear beginning makes the rest of your answer easier to follow and helps you stay on topic. After giving your answer, explain why. Useful phrases include mainly because. The main reason is that that's largely because. And one reason for this is. For example, a weak answer might be, "I like studying alone because it is good." The word good is too general and doesn't explain the speaker's opinion. A stronger answer is, "I like studying alone mainly because it helps me concentrate without being interrupted." This reason is clear and specific. Many learners try to include 3 or 4 reasons in one answer. However, this can make the answer feel rushed or disconnected. One well-developed reason is usually better than several weak reasons. Choose the reason that is easiest to explain. Then support it with a detail or example. This will naturally make your answer longer without making it confusing. Examples make your answer more real and more memorable. You can introduce an example by saying, for example. For instance, a good example would be, or, this happened to me when. Compare these two answers. The first answer is, it is useful. This is understandable, but it is very general. A better answer is, for example, when I prepare for a presentation, I can record myself and check whether my answer is clear. The example shows exactly how the activity is useful. Your example does not need to be dramatic or extremely detailed. It can come from your daily life, work, studies, family, or personal experience. In IELTS speaking, realistic examples help you speak more naturally because you're discussing something concrete. Give enough detail to support your point, but stop before the example becomes a completely separate story. After your reason and example, add one final sentence to complete the answer. You can describe a result with phrases such as a result. This means that, because of this, or that helps me. You can also add a contrast by saying, that said, however, on the other hand, or at the same time. Finally, you can link back to your main point with, so overall, that is why, for that reason, or in general. For example, I enjoy studying alone because I can work at my own pace. For instance, I can spend more time on difficult topics. As a result, I usually understand the material better. So overall, studying alone is more effective for me. The final sentence makes the answer feel complete. Once your point is clear, stop speaking and allow the examiner to ask the next question. In IELTS Speaking Part 1, your answers should normally be short but developed. They should not sound like essays. A useful Part 1 structure contains 3 steps. Give a direct answer, add one reason, then include a short example or detail. Consider the question, do you like cooking? A strong answer could be, yes, I do, mainly because it helps me relax after work. I usually cook simple dishes in the evening, such as pasta or stir-fried vegetables. This answer contains only 2 sentences, but it gives a clear position, a reason, and a specific detail. For most Part 1 questions, 2 to 4 sentences are enough. Avoid giving only one-word answers. However, do not continue talking until the examiner has to interrupt you. Keep your answer clear, natural, personal, and focused on the question. In IELTS Speaking Part 2, you need to speak for longer, so organization becomes especially important. You can structure your story around 4 stages. First, explain the past event. What happened? Next, add important details. Where were you? Who was involved? When did it happen? Then describe your feelings. Were you excited, nervous, surprised, or disappointed? Finally, include a reflection. Why was this experience important? What did you learn from it? And how do you feel about it now? Use the cue card as a map, not as a script. Start with a short overview, move through the events in a logical order, and finish with a personal reflection. Feelings and reflections help you continue speaking naturally and prevent your answer from becoming a simple list of events. IELTS Speaking Part 3 requires more analytical and developed answers. Begin by giving your opinion clearly. Then, explain why you hold that view. Add a realistic example. After that, consider a limitation or an opposing perspective. Finally, state your overall opinion. For example, I would say online education is useful because it gives learners more flexibility. For example, people with full-time jobs can study at night. That said, it may not suit students who need face-to-face support. This answer is developed but still focused. The speaker gives a position, a reason, an example, and a limitation. You do not need to discuss every possible side of the issue. One main argument and one brief contrast are often enough. Balanced thinking does not mean avoiding a clear opinion. It means showing that you understand the issue may have more than one side.
Let's compare a rambling answer with a Band 7 style answer. The question is about traveling. The rambling answer is, yes, I like traveling because traveling is good, and people travel for many reasons, and some people travel by plane, and some people travel to different countries, and it is very interesting. This answer is long, but it does not develop one clear idea. It repeats the word traveling and includes several unrelated details. Now, listen to the improved version. Yes, definitely. I enjoy traveling mainly because it gives me a chance to experience different cultures. For example, when I visit a new city, I like trying local food and learning about daily life there. So overall, traveling makes me more open-minded. This answer has one clear idea, one relevant example, and one concluding statement. A longer answer is not automatically a better answer. Structure and relevance are more important than the number of words.
Let's review the complete answer frame. First, give a direct answer. Second, add one clear reason. Third, support it with one specific example. Fourth, add a result or contrast when appropriate. Finally, link the answer back to the main question. Try using this structure with the following questions. Do you prefer studying alone or with others? Should people spend more time outdoors? And is technology making communication better? Pause the video and practice answering each question aloud. Remember the 3 main rules. Extend your answer, but stay on topic. Develop one idea well instead of mentioning many ideas briefly. And stop speaking when your answer feels complete. Thank you for watching Fluent English Daily. Keep practicing the AREL structure, and your IELTS speaking answers will become clearer, more fluent, and easier to follow.